In the quiet suburb of Willow Creek, where maple trees whispered secrets to the wind and picket fences guarded ordinary lives, Sarah Thompson lived a life of meticulous routine. At 52, she was the epitome of steadfast reliability, a high school English teacher whose days blurred into lesson plans, grading papers, and the occasional sigh over a cup of chamomile tea. Her son, Alex, was her anchor and her enigma. 25 years old, with tousled brown hair that defied combs and eyes that held the depth of unspoken dreams, Alex had always been the one to slip through her fingers like sand. It started on a Tuesday evening in early autumn. The sun dipped low, painting the kitchen in hues of amber and regret as Sarah stirred a pot of vegetable soup. The aroma of carrots and thyme filled the air, a comforting veil over the undercurrent of tension that had simmered between them for months. Alex had graduated from college 2 years prior with a degree in business administration, but jobs were scarce, or so he claimed. He'd taken up freelance graphic design, sporadic gigs that paid just enough for rent on his cramped apartment downtown. Or at least that's what he told her. "Sweetie, pass the salt," Sarah said, her voice light but laced with the weight of unspoken questions. She glanced at him over the rim of her glasses, noting the shadows under his eyes, deeper than usual. He looked haunted, almost. Not tired, but as if he'd been wrestling ghosts in the night. Alex reached for the shaker, his fingers brushing hers. They were cold, despite the warmth of the room. "Here, Mom." His smile was quick, too quick, like a mask slipping into place. She set the pot to simmer and turned to face him, wiping her hands on her floral apron. The kitchen clock ticked relentlessly, each second a reminder of time slipping away. "Alex, we need to talk about your job situation. Again." He leaned against the counter, crossing his arms, a defensive posture she'd seen 1,000 times. "Mom, I'm handling it. Things are progressing." "Progressing how? You've been vague for weeks. Are you still doing those designs? Or is there something else?" Her voice softened, pleading. Sarah had scrimped and saved for his education, dreaming of the day he'd stride into a corner office, briefcase in hand, the world at his feet. Instead, he was adrift, and it gnawed at her. Alex's gaze flickered to the window, where twilight crept in like an uninvited guest. "Actually, I got a promotion. Big one." Sarah's heart skipped. "A promotion? From the freelance stuff?" She stepped closer, hope blooming in her chest like a fragile flower. He met her eyes then, and for a split second, something raw flashed there. Triumph? Fear? It vanished as quickly as it came. No, it's more than that. I'm the CEO now. Started yesterday." The words hung in the air, absurd and glittering. "CEO? Of what?" Sarah laughed, a nervous trill that echoed off the tiled walls. "Very funny, Alex. If this is your way of dodging the conversation..." "I'm serious, Mom." His tone was steady, but his knuckles whitened around the edge of the counter. "I launched my own company, tech startup, AI-driven marketing solutions. It's taking off." She stared, the soup forgotten as it bubbled softly behind her. A startup? Alex had always been clever with computers, tinkering in his room as a teen. But this? "That's wonderful. But yesterday? How? Show me the website or something." His smile tightened. "It's under wraps for now, NDAs and all that. Investors are involved, big ones." He pushed off the counter, grabbing his jacket from the chair. "I have to head out, meeting tonight. But trust me, Mom, this is it, the big break." Sarah watched him go, the door clicking shut with a finality that left her breathless. CEO. Her boy, a CEO. Joy warred with doubt in her mind. It sounded too perfect, too sudden. As she ladled soup into bowls for one, her thoughts spiraled. What if it was a lie? Or worse, what if it was real, and he was in over his head? That night, sleep eluded her. The house creaked like an old ship, and every shadow seemed to shift with purpose. Sarah tossed in her bed, replaying his words. Started yesterday. How does one build an empire overnight? She rose at dawn, the first light filtering through lace curtains, and padded to her laptop in the study. A quick search. Alex Thompson AI startup. Nothing. Just generic articles on the tech boom. She tried variations, Thompson Tech, Willow Creek AI, still nothing. Her pulse quickened. Maybe it was too new. Or maybe... By morning, resolve hardened in her chest. She couldn't let this slide. Alex was hiding something. She felt it in her bones, the way a mother senses a fever before the thermometer confirms it. She texted him. Coffee at the diner? 10 a.m.? Need details on this CEO miracle. His reply was swift. Can't, Mom. Back-to-back calls. Love you. Love you. The words stung. She dressed quickly. Jeans, a sweater, sensible flats, and drove to his apartment, the old Honda protesting with a rattle. The building was a nondescript brick affair on Elm Street, its lobby smelling of stale coffee and regret. Alex's unit was on the third floor, 3B. She knocked, heart pounding. No answer. She knocked again, louder. The door across the hall creaked open. An elderly woman with curlers in her hair peered out. He's not home, dear. Out all hours, that one. Strange lights from his window at night, like he's building a spaceship in there. Sarah forced a smile. Thank you. Just checking in. Strange lights? She filed it away, a puzzle piece in a game she didn't know the rules to. Back home, unease festered. She called his old college friend, Mike, who worked in Silicon Valley. Hey, Sarah, long time. What's up? Alex mentioned a startup, AI marketing. Any buzz? Mike chuckled. Not that I've heard. But hey, the valley's full of ghosts. Ideas that vanish as quick as they appear. Why? He finally making moves? Something like that. She hung up, the line dead in her ear. Ghosts. The word lingered. Days blurred into a haze of suspicion. Alex's visits grew sporadic. His texts curt. Swamped. Dinner soon? Sarah watched him from afar, tailing him one evening to a sleek office park on the city's edge. He slipped into a glass-fronted building labeled Innovate Hub, a co-working space buzzing with millennials in hoodies. She parked across the street, hood up against the chill, and waited. 2 hours later, he emerged, briefcase in hand. Real leather, not the canvas messenger bag she knew, but his face, drawn, eyes darting like a man pursued. That night, she couldn't resist. While he was out, she drove back to his apartment with the spare key he'd given her for emergencies. The place was a mess. Pizza boxes, tangled charger cords, a whiteboard scrawled with diagrams that looked like alien hieroglyphs, flowcharts of neural networks, scribbled equations. On his desk, a sleek laptop hummed, screen locked with a password she didn't know. She tried his birthday, denied. Their anniversary, denied. Frustration clawed at her. In the corner, a stack of boxes labeled Proto 1.0, sealed with tape. She hesitated, then sliced one open with a letter opener from her purse. Inside, circuit boards, glowing faintly blue even in the off-state. Wires snaked like veins, and at the center, a small device resembling a router, but etched with unfamiliar symbols. Her breath caught. This wasn't graphic design. This was advanced. Too advanced for a kid fresh out of school. A noise, footsteps in the hall. Panic surged. She shoved the box shut, heart hammering, and slipped out just as the elevator dinged. In the stairwell, she leaned against the wall, gasping. What was he into? Black market tech? Espionage? Her mind raced to absurdities, government secrets, corporate spies. The next week brought rain, relentless sheets that mirrored her mood. Alex finally came for dinner, bearing takeout Thai as a peace offering. They sat at the oak table, chopsticks clacking awkwardly. So, tell me about this company, Sarah pressed, pouring wine with a steady hand she didn't feel. What's it called? Apex Dynamics, he said, avoiding her eyes as he speared a shrimp. We're revolutionizing targeted ads with predictive AI. Users input data it anticipates needs before they even know them. Sounds impressive. Investors? A venture firm out of New York. Anonymous for now. He sipped his wine, but his hand trembled slightly. Sarah leaned in, voice low. Alex, level with me. Is everything okay? You seem scared. His fork paused mid-air. For a moment, the rain outside was the only sound, drumming a tattoo of urgency. Scared? Nah, Mom. Excited. Overwhelmed, maybe. But his eyes betrayed him, fleeting shadows of dread. She didn't push. Not then. But that night, after he'd gone, she scoured the web again. Apex Dynamics AI. Zilch. Venture firms New York anonymous tech. Articles on shadow funding. Startups vanishing into thin air after taking dirty money. Her stomach twisted. Was he laundering? Or worse, had he stolen this tech? The breaking point came on a Friday the 13th, as if fate conspired. A call from an unknown number lit her phone at midnight. She answered, voice thick with sleep. Hello? Ms. Thompson? This is Detective Harlan from the Willow Creek PD. The voice was gravelly, authoritative. We need to speak about your son, Alex. Her blood turned to ice. What happened? Is he hurt? Not hurt, missing. Reported by a co-worker at Innovate Hub. Hasn't been seen since Wednesday. Any idea where he might be? Missing. The word echoed, a void swallowing her whole. She stammered through details, his startup, the secrecy, while the detective scribbled notes. We'll look into it, ma'am. Stay by the phone. Dawn broke gray and unforgiving. Sarah paced the living room, phone clutched like a lifeline. Missing? How? He'd texted her yesterday. Big meeting tonight, Apex launch imminent, love you. She replayed it obsessively. The apartment, she had to go back. The drive was a blur, rain-slicked roads reflecting her turmoil. The building loomed, a sentinel of secrets. Key and lock, door ajar. Had she left it that way? No. Heart slamming, she pushed inside. Chaos. The whiteboard smeared, diagrams obliterated in black streaks, boxes overturned, circuit boards smashed like brittle bones, the laptop gone, drawers ransacked, papers fluttering like startled birds. A scent lingered, ozone, sharp and electric, like a storm's aftermath. Footsteps, not hers, from the bedroom. Sarah froze, breath shallow. A figure emerged, tall, hooded, face obscured by shadow. Who? The intruder lunged, a glint of steel in his hand. Knife? She screamed, grabbing the letter opener from her purse, swinging wildly. He dodged, grunting, and she bolted for the door. Down the stairs, two at a time, lungs burning. Outside, she collapsed against the car, dialing 911 with shaking fingers. Intruder! Alex's apartment! Hurry! Police swarmed, lights pulsing blue and red. Detective Harlan arrived, his face etched with grim lines. You okay, Miss Thompson? She nodded, numb. He was looking for something. Tech stuff. Alex's invention. Harlan's eyes narrowed. Invention? Tell me everything. Over coffee in a squad car, the story spilled. The CEO claim, the secrecy, the strange devices. Harlan listened, then radioed his team. Run traces on Apex Dynamics, and check for bolos on tech theft. By noon, fragments emerged. Apex wasn't registered anywhere. But a dark web forum buzzed with whispers. Ghost coder in Willow Creek peddling neural net prototypes. Price, 7 figures. Stolen. From whom? Sarah's world tilted. Her son, a thief, or a victim? Harlan drove her home, the silence heavy. We'll find him. But ma'am, sometimes these startups attract the wrong crowd. Sharks. Sharks. The word haunted her dreams that night, jaws circling in murky depths. She woke sweating, the clock glowing 3:17 a.m. A text, unknown number. Mom, safe. Don't trust police. Meet me at the old mill, dawn. Come alone. Her hands flew to her mouth. Alex, alive. But why the old mill? Abandoned since the 80s, a rusted skeleton on the river's edge where kids dared ghosts and lovers carved hearts. Dangerous. But she had no choice. Dawn painted the sky in bruised purples. Sarah bundled into a coat, flashlight in pocket, pepper spray gripped tight. The mill loomed through fog, its wheelhouse sagging like a weary giant. Gravel crunched under her tires as she parked, the river murmuring secrets below. Alex? Her voice echoed, swallowed by mist. A shadow detached from the doorway. Him. Disheveled, a cut above his eye crusted with blood. He pulled her into a hug, fierce and trembling. Mom, thank God. What happened? The apartment. Someone attacked me. His face crumpled. I know. They were after the prototype. I didn't steal it, Mom. I built it. From scratch. Months of nights, coding in secret. It's revolutionary. AI that predicts consumer behavior with 98% accuracy. But I bragged online anonymously to drum up interest. Wrong people bit. Who? Victor Kane, tech mogul, ruthless. He runs a shadow network, steals ideas, buries creators. When I wouldn't sell, he sent goons. I faked the disappearance to draw them out, set a trap with a decoy drive. Sarah's knees buckled. A trap? You could have died. I had to. For us. He led her inside, the air thick with damp rot. In the gloom, a laptop glowed on a crate, hooked to a jury-rigged server of salvaged parts, the boxes from his apartment intact. Watch. He typed, and the screen bloomed, lines of code cascading, then a demo. Virtual shoppers, their desires mapped in glowing webs, ads morphing in real time, eerily prescient. This is Apex, my baby. Tears stung her eyes, pride swelled, tangled with terror. It's incredible, but Victor... A creak, footsteps outside. Alex's face paled. They're here. The trap's set. Virus and the decoy will fry their systems, trace their ops. But we need to run. Too late. The door splintered. 3 men burst in, hooded, armed. Victor Kane in the lead, silver hair gleaming, eyes like chips of ice. Thompson, hand it over. The code, or she dies. His gun trained on Sarah. Time fractured. Alex shoved her behind a beam, whispering, The server. Overload it. Now. Her fingers fumbled on the keyboard, heart a-thunder in her ears, commands he'd drilled into her en route. Enter, shift, delete. The machine whirred, fans screaming. Lights flickered, Mill's old generators sparking to life. Kane lunged. Alex tackled him, fists flying in a blur. Grunts, thuds. One goon grabbed Sarah, arm like a vice. She sprayed pepper, eliciting a howl, and broke free. The server hit critical. Sparks flew, a digital inferno erupting. Alarms wailed, distant sirens converging. Chaos reigned. Kane roared, shoving Alex aside, gun swinging. Sarah hurled a loose pipe, clanged off his shoulder. He staggered, firing wild. Bullets ricocheted, one grazing Alex's arm, blood blooming dark. Run! Alex yelled. They bolted through a side exit, fog cloaking their flight. Down to the riverbank, slipping on mud, breaths ragged. Breaths ragged. Behind the mill ignited, flames licking the sky, a pyre of secrets. They hid in the reeds till police lights bathed the scene. Harlan's team swarmed, cuffing the goons, Kane snarling as they Mirandized him. You have no proof. Alex, clutching his arm, smirked through pain. The virus uploaded everything. Your accounts, your hits. It's over. Hours later, in the ER, stitches fresh, Alex squeezed her hand. Mom, I should have told you. From the start. Sarah brushed his hair back, voice thick. You did, in a way. I just had to chase the shadows. He laughed, wincing. Dinner soon? Real one. No secrets. Promise. But as nurses bustled, her phone buzzed. Unknown. Not over. Watch your back. Fear. Kane's empire was crumbling, but embers lingered. Sarah pocketed the phone, resolve stealing. CEO or not, her boy was home, and she'd guard him, shadows and all. In the weeks that followed, Apex rose from ashes. Legit funding, a real office with her name on the advisory board. Launches buzzed, headlines hailed the prodigy son. Yet Sarah slept with one eye open, the thrill of suspense etched into her soul. For in the game of ambition, trust was the sharpest blade, and family, its unbreakable sheath. But late one night, as code hummed on Alex's new rig, a glitch flickered, an unauthorized access, a ghost in the machine. She watched from the doorway, heart quickening. Was it Kane's revenge? Or something deeper, a rival born from the code itself? The cursor blinked, waiting. Sarah smiled faintly. Let the shadows come. She'd be ready.